There's a lot of people out there that are using our cameras and they maybe haven't upgraded to the Move SE or the Move 4K. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the G2 in comparison to the Move family here. So here we have three cameras set up, and what we're going to do is showcase the G2 footage, the Move SE, and the Move 4K footage. So here we have our individual cameras. Up top left there, we have our G2 20X. On the right, our Move SE 1080 60 FPS camera, which is a 30x, and our Move 4K down in the left there, which is a 20x, and that's 4K 60 FPS as well. So I'm gonna get up, Paul. If you could tell us a little bit about the differences here, and I'll be your Vanna White for today, and then showcase each camera individually.
Awesome. So one of the first things we're seeing here is we have a white camera on the left. That is our Gen 2 model. That is an NDI Gen 2 camera. In the middle, we have our PTZOptics Move SE, which is our 1080p 60 FPS camera. And then on the right, we have our 4K, our Move 4K. Each of these cameras, if I'm not mistaken, there we go, are powered over Ethernet. So we can see here that there's just a single Ethernet connection powering these cameras. Uh, you can see they have very similar connections on the back. We've made some improvements on the Move SE and the Move 4K, including the ability to have USB connectivity, the ability to have auto tracking built in to the Move SE and the Move 4K. But other than that, you can see the form factor is very similar. So it's still a very simple situation of deciding how much optical zoom do you need, and are you okay with a 1080p stream, or do you want to create a future-proof system where you think, hey, we might want to go 4K in the future, or we're ready for 4K now, where you would go with the Move 4K cameras. So I think we're going to dig into some of the key reasons why you might want to think about the 4K camera over 1080p as a starting point.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can probably see right away the Move SE and the G2 is is a very stark difference between the two. And we tried to adjust color code as much as we could to align, but you can see low light immediately. It's struggling to keep up with the Move SE and the Move 4K. So right away, obviously it's very clear the 4K 60 FPS sensor in the Move 4K is going to give you a lot better low light scenarios. And we'll go into a little bit on how to prepare for those low light scenarios, like your candlelight services or very dim rooms that you might have this holiday season. So obviously your image quality is going to be increased and improved a lot when you jump from the G2 to the Move 4K. You're also going to see, as Paul mentioned, great auto tracking features like our presenter lock. And when you use presenter lock, what you are is essentially locking into your presenter, and it'll follow them left to right, back, forward, as long as you want. You can have a forward group of people in front of them. You can have a crowd behind them. It'll say locked onto your presenter for as long as you want. Now, you're not going to get the advanced level of tracking from a camera like the Move SE compared to the Move 4K. You're going to get the latest innovation auto tracking features specifically on the Move 4K first and foremost. What you also get is NDI HX3. So a lot of you might still have those G2 cameras. A lot of you probably paid to upgrade to get that NDI added into your camera. So not only does the Move SE come native with NDI, you're also going to get improved NDI performance on the Move 4K series with HX3. So you're going to get even better improvement on the NDI side. And then we go forward, and we love talking about Hive here. We're so excited for the release. G2 cameras, you can definitely bring them into the Hive, but you're not going to get all the added advantages that you will from the Move SE and the 4K. What you're going to get is what we call Hive linked. You're going to be able to have Hive directly embedded onto these cameras. Paul, is there any way you could tell us, or maybe even show off the Hive a little bit to show and tell people a little bit more about what it means to be Hive linked for our
Yeah, and
cameras?
Hive linked is something we're going to be talking a lot about because it's a really big deal. And if you check out my screen here, Mike, I have a little example of what Hive linked is. So any camera pretty much you can bring into Hive because you can bring in any USB connected camera, any webcam, any HDMI or SDI camera by converting it to USB. And in this diagram, what we're showing here is any of these cameras can be plugged into a computer that has Hive running, and we can now remotely control them. So we can get them into Hive and share access with anyone in the world. But with Hive linked cameras, we do not need a computer at all. And that is a really big deal because if you're a school and you want to have 3 or 4 sports fields, right, or 10 tennis courts or 16 classrooms, anytime that we want to scale audio and video to multiple locations, having a computer in every location is expensive and it's difficult to manage. So with Hive linked, you can literally connect to the camera on your local area network, log it into your Hive account one time. This only needs to happen one time. You connect it to your account. You can unplug it, ship it anywhere in the world. As soon as it's installed and connected to internet, you have remote access. So it's much easier to manage cameras without needing to have a computer. And this also allows you to mix and match. So you can have one studio here, another studio with different cameras, and you can also add audio into the camera. So the cameras have a 3.5 millimeter audio input. So we can connect the camera to Hive and remotely manage all the audio and the video without needing extra computers in between. So Hive linked is a really big deal. But if you have a G2 camera, it's okay. We can still support it, but you'll need a Mac or a PC computer running the software, which you can see here. This is the software running on a Windows computer here, which is bridging. But the nice thing about it is we can connect to any camera that's supported in our system, which is a lot of cameras. You'll see here that we can connect to Sony, Panasonic, Canon, JVC, Lumens. There's a long list of cameras that we support, and those supported cameras can be connected to Hive, but they will require a computer in the middle. PTZOptics Move SC and Move 4K cameras will be linked directly.
And it doesn't stop just there. You're going to get additional features directly from the Move 4K in Hive. You're going to be able to adjust those individual auto tracking features directly in the Hive. Obviously, you're going to maybe add that to the G2, but it's not going to be onboard auto tracking using computer vision and getting the best auto tracking that you can possibly do. A huge advantage of the Move 4K is, as we mentioned, here we have a great giveaway, but we also have a beta program for our wonderful beta testers. If you go to PTZOptics.com/beta, you can enter into our beta program where you can get great new features from the Move 4K, like our brand new user interface, which is coming very soon. That's all I'll say. And we also are adding great features that are already out, like voice tracking, that you'll be able to get first only on the Move 4K. So consider future-proofing your setup. The Move 4K is going to take you into the next 5-10 years for your production. So think about that. When we move into the Move SE, you're going to focus on, obviously, if we go back to the 3-camera setup here, Mike, we can see the huge performance difference between the Move SE and the G2. You'll notice that the low light performance on the G2 is definitely struggling compared to our Move SE. And you'll see just a better color, more accurate color, brighter saturation of the color across the board. So you'll see straight up improved performance, obviously. You also get native NDI, like I mentioned, right out of the box. You can plug it in and start using, after your firmware update, of course, you can start using NDI right out of the box. And then, of course, as Paul was just mentioning, Hive integration is really the future for us in remote production and controlling your production from anywhere. A lot of you have multiple different kinds of G2s. We are taking all of those different models, the USB, the NDI, the SDI and HDMI. We're combining it all into one, and that is our Move SE camera. So consider upgrading. You have a great opportunity this Black Friday to get the best deal possible. So take a look at the Move SE and the Move 4K. And last but not least, we also have a wonderful camera here on the table. I don't know if we have a wide shot here that we can show. That is our Link camera. So it's the same sensor as our Move 4K, but that is Dante integrated. So you have Dante AV-H with the power of Audinate to control your production. So we are trying to offer a solution for everyone. Take a look at our Move series of cameras. I don't think you will be disappointed.